Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded with Nemsun. I have been sorting out some bits and pieces. Nothing much going on down here because the little creepers and things down here. Not doing anything much down here. I've been bringing all of my stuff into here, so this is kind of the collection of all my worldly belongings, all in a few double chests inside a simple room with a load of crafting benches and everything I need to craft stuff. I've got this as kind of a little room where I can just cool down and sleep. Cool down and or sleep close by. Also grab water. I think I need some sort of food supply in here as well, eventually. At the minute, my food supply is kind of here. Still, but I've removed almost everything from down this section. I wanted to remove it. I think I said last episode that I wanted to remove it all because I want to put the Ender.io, Actually Additions, RF Tools, any kind of techie stuff I want down in the tech section in here. This is the Stone Age. This is the Stone Age. This is where I store all my stuff in the Stone Age, and this is going to be my high-tech ship that's going to store stuff in some AE system at some point in the future. Before we take off and head back out to the stars. For now, though, it is literally an empty fuselage that I'm trying to sort out and hopefully get some bits and pieces sorted in today's episode. That's better. Morning. Right. So, what have I been doing? Well, not really a lot since the last episode. The last episode, I got together some of the creating life stuff. And now they are leaving the poops all over the place. Somehow I managed to throw an egg and got a compressed chicken. Don't know if when I kill that chicken there's going to be more chickens, so I thought I'd do it on camera. Killed it. The compressed chicken was slain, but it didn't decompress. Okay, so I wonder... I don't know why there was a compressed chicken there. But they are now pooping everywhere. I'm now getting this poop, which is... basically brown dye, better with mods, thank you very much, better with mods. I'm getting more chickens, I'm getting more cows and sheep. I've already bred up the cows a couple of times and all that. I've done that a few times in order to try and complete some quests. But I have encountered a small issue now. I've done all of these quests. This is the one where I get the lifeblood crystal, the extra life and the loot chest, which I've got in my inventory right now. That was just get 4 blocks of emeralds again to get a villager. Speaking of villager, we will need to name the villager soon enough, right? We've also completed these quests, which don't really do anything other than, I don't know, give me this loot chest maybe? Get a loot chest. From that loot chest I got like 6 nether brick. So, gold armor, iron armor, and diamonds all ate up. Well, all the iron consumed. It was all consumed. Iron, gold, and diamonds consumed in order to get 6 nether rack. Yeah, rubbish. Not doing that again. But I might do the villager one again. We do need to name the villager. Lots of suggestions in the comments from the last episode. Thank you very much. I will get round to naming him just as soon as we figure out how to get a name tag, or we find another name tag or something. Right? Now I'm struggling with... well, I'm not struggling with golden carrots. I could do a golden carrot anytime I wanted, I suppose. Ocelot, I need to do some fishing for fish, but there's so many Pam's Harvest Craft fish. And wolves, I've been breeding up to try and get some raw beef. I've currently got 10 raw beef. So the next stage will be to keep breeding the cows until I got to 20. And then I can get a little wolf pet type thing. But anyway, killing task is to be done. This is the task I've got stuck on recently. I did the bone stocker, killed some spiders to get some spider eye to make soup from the stock. And then got onto stews, right? And at first glance, these stews didn't look too bad. There's a mushroom stew, there's a hearty stew, there's a rabbit stew, there's a meaty stew, and a seed stew. Did the meaty stew and the seed stew, no problem. The rabbit stew, I got everything for except for the mushrooms. The hearty stew also requires mushrooms, and the mushroom stew, of course, requires mushrooms. In that crafting recipe, you require mushrooms, so most stews seem to have the mushroom in. And there is this thing to do mushrooms, make 1 mushroom into 10 mushrooms. And that's the only method of making mushrooms. I've had a look around. I couldn't see any mushrooms anywhere, right? I couldn't see any mushrooms anywhere because we're in the desert. Mushrooms don't grow in the desert, do they? I went underground and I had a look around in that abandoned mineshaft, and there was nothing but bad guys in there. No mushrooms. So I came over to Pam's Harvestcraft and I found that the only mushroom is this white mushroom spore. I got some white mushrooms and I planted it and I grew some white mushrooms, and the white mushrooms are different Pam's Harvestcraft mushrooms, not the mushrooms for the Pam's Harvestcraft mushroom stew. Which is a bit odd in and of itself, that mushroom stew is not the Pam's Harvestcraft mushrooms though. Apart from that one is. Oh. I wonder if I can turn mushroom stew back into itself again. Back into mushrooms. No, I can't. Okay. I don't know then. But I could do the mushroom stew, I suppose, if I get the white stock and the mushrooms. So there's a thing that I hadn't thought of before. We've just looked at it in today's episode ready. I've got everything ready except for that mushroom. I'm trying to figure out a way of getting that mushroom, right? And I've kind of got an idea for something, but I don't know if it's going to work. But there's a mushroom stew though. That's good. Okay. And we can get some more white spores to grow more mushrooms, but that's pretty much all we can do with the mushrooms at the minute. I can now claim that quest reward though. Get that. Detect. Done. Now it should be done. Yeah, okay. The Hearty Stew, however, the Hearty Stew, where's the Hearty Stew? Hearty Stew requires brown mushrooms. There is no other alternate recipe for the mushrooms. It has to be the brown Minecraft mushrooms. So I can pretty much do everything else except for the brown mushrooms again for that Hearty Stew. And the rabbit stew requires brown or red mushrooms. So I've got kind of issues with all of that going on. I'd still need to work on a few bits and pieces to make that happen, to make that work properly. But I'll get there. I'm getting there. And with your help, maybe I'll do that today. I got a couple of little bits. I really want to get into the Ender IO stuff, right? I really want to get some Ender IO machines going. But I figured that's just crafting. And I was getting some of this creating life and getting new food supplies and all that was... The whole point of doing it all is to get new food types, right? That's the whole point, isn't it? So I thought, right, well, let's do some of these food quests. And now I got stuck on this mushroom. I thought I'd better come and have a look at the mushroom. Now, I think if I take a cow, right? I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to take a cow. I'm going to try it out. If you've got another method for getting mushrooms, then please tell me. If I take witch water, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to put some witch water down here, right? Put some witch water in there, right? And if I put a cow in witch water, does it turn into a mushroom cow? And if it turns into a mushroom cow, it didn't look like it turned into a mushroom cow. It looked like it just got injured. Yeah. See, some things change when you put it in water like that. When you put it into witch water, some things change. Obviously, a cow's not one of them. So, well, there goes that section of the episode. Blah-de, blah-de, blah. It didn't work. Sorry for wasting your time. I'm going to get on with building some stuff now. One thing I'll do before we go is try and get this lifeblood crystal to take me up to 6 hearts. Dum dum dum. And from what I can see, right, another little glimpse of my mind working for me. Another thing I see, this needs a spawn villager in order to get the lifeblood crystal. So technically, if I get 4 blocks of emeralds, I could turn it into a villager or turn it into a heart. So I could get 4 more blocks of emerald and get another heart anytime I want. It's quite a lot going on there. Also, I sheared creepers. It's kind of a lot of alsos going on today, isn't there? A lot of... oh, yeah, and also, I sheared a creeper in order to get this diamond ingot thing, right? You put that in there and then get the creeper oyster to get a diamond ingot. And then those diamond ingots go together, and I can't believe I'm doing this, as the first thing I'm doing with these creeper diamond ingots is to make a diamond hoe out of diamond ingots in order to make the farming station from Ender.io. Wow. The farming station from Ender.io is that, and it requires that diamond hoe. So I had to go and shear a creeper in order to get the creeper glands or whatever. I think I got a few more. Creeper oysters, that was it. You can even eat the creeper oyster. Ugh. That just doesn't sound right, does it? Eat the creeper oysters. No, no, no. Creeper oysters are not the thing for me, thank you very much. But I got a few more in case I need anything else related to this. There's a few things that I'm going to need, a few machines I'm going to need. So, electric steel is made in the alloy smelter. So I'm going to need to make myself another alloy smelter. Easy enough to make. I've already made one. I could just nick that one and use it, but that's in the factory in situ. So I'll make another one for the ship to have that as well. And the other thing, if we go back a couple, the machine chassis is nothing too difficult. Back a couple. The pulsating crystals require pulsating iron. Pulsating iron can be made in alloy smelter with ender pearls and iron together. So again, alloy smelter first things first there. Easily done though. And then the most complicated bit is probably the Z-Logic controller, which requires a slice and splice with a few bits and pieces. Solarium, silicon I've got, zombie head I've got. Solarium is just cooked. Well, I believe it was just cooked. Yeah, soul sand and gold in an alloy smelter again. So nice and simple there. But the nice and splice itself requires a load of this solarium. Soul sand and gold. That's just going to take me a little bit of time, which is why I've got all of the witch water all set up. And I could also turn sand into soul sand using the actually addition thing. So really not too hard to make. And then I just need a power supply for them. And I've not decided exactly how the power supply is going to work yet. I might just make a capacitor bank and stick some kind of power generation close by to keep that capacitor bank full, and then those two machines full, because they're essentially the machines I need to do everything that I want to get set up in here as soon as possible. For the immediate effect, I'll just generate using a Stirling generator, but we'll have a power supply soon enough as well. Alright, well, nearly there. Just getting the last little bits done. Put all the ingredients in here, all the solarium and bits and pieces, to make the Z-Logic controller. I've got 4 bits of ender steel now. I've got the oh, there it is. Z-Logic controller. I've got the pulsating iron ingot thingy that goes round the diamond to make the pulsating diamond. I actually need another one of those, don't I? Have I got another? Yeah, I've got another ender pearl. Good, good. So I'll quickly make another one of those. I'm getting used to this jumping up and down, backwards and forwards. Iron ingot and ender pearl gets that going. Right? That's a pulsating crystal. I needed 2 of those, and that was it. So it's pretty much it. I'm pretty much done. And then I've got to figure out how to power it, because moving these Stirling generators around from thing to thing is okay in theory, but it's not very practical. It's just not very practical. I need something that's a much more permanent solution for making power. But that is one of the reasons why we're doing Ender.io, because Ender.io have a lot of power supply methods as well. Which would be nice. And bing, there we go. The first farming station is completed. Oh, the farmer's life for me. Okay, so we've made the farming stations. I've duplicated the process quite a few times and been breeding up all the cows and sheep and stuff while I've been doing that. Just getting everything ready. Getting everything sorted while we've been at it. There we go. Look at them. They're loving it. The cow update completed. What? I did not realise I had a cow update to be completed. What's the cow update? Creating life, cow. No, that's not village. That's cow, not villagers. Cow. Claiming leather, maybe. It's not technical revolution. Okay, I don't know what I just did. It wasn't there before. What have I picked up that's different? Nothing as far as I know. I haven't picked anything up that's new. Just picking up the XP and stuff in here now. I don't know. But look, anyway. This is what I'm here to show you. I'm just doing that for the sake of doing lots and lots of food for them. There's 4 different meat types in there. And then also rabbits, which I could breed for a 5th different meat type, which is very good. But at the minute I've been working on getting the seeds done. Now, they've planted okay with the first initial load of power from one of the Stirling generators, but they're not powered properly yet. So they're still unpowered, so therefore they don't do even the basic things. I've got water running down the back and the front of them, with these little grass half slab things running around. Now these grass half slabs are, it's a half slab, so it's a quarter glowstone, a quarter grass, which meant that I could spread them out a lot further, because one block of glowstone and one block of glass would do 4 slabs. Yeah, something like that. It's 4 slabs. Nice little bit of chiseling bits in, keeping the whole place lit. So these are also the same glowstone grass slabs, keeping the whole farming area lit, while at the same time looking kind of neat down the sides here. I think I'm probably going to build up the sides like I've seen on my Patreon server. I've shown you that before, but this time I can do it properly. So I think I might do that on these. But first, practicalities. First practicalities, then making it look nice. First of all, I just needed to light the area up, that was it. So what I've been doing, growing the wheat, the carrots, the wheat, the carrots, the wheat, the carrots, and having the animals all fed up. And then over this side, I started purchasing some seeds, and I wanted to test something out. So I wanted to find out if this would work. I'm going to need some power again now. I'm going to need to go and get my power back. I've actually been charging up a capacitor over here. This way. I've been charging up a capacitor from some lava supplies. So a quick cooldown again. Another quick cooldown. Oh my word, so many times to cool down. There we go, that's done. And we can take this capacitor and go and use that to top up these things. It works really quickly to top them up and make them work for a little bit. But unless they're receiving total power, or they're receiving power all the time, they don't do anything. Okay, so the check here was checking to see if they would harvest these things here out of seeds. Oh yeah, checking if they would harvest these things here and then just right click them, basically, just like right click them, and it's clear that they have just right clicked all of these Pam's Harvest Craft fruit stuff. The fruit has gone into this slot, but the rest has not. So now, if I take all of this, take it all, unlock all of those sides, take that out, I don't want that in there. I want to put carrots in there and lock it, right? Lock it on carrots, but have the different seeds replacing the carrots wherever possible. So if it doesn't break and replant, then it will never replant the carrot, but it will always have seeds in there, and all of the produce from right clicking will all end up in this section here. All of the different types of fruit. So here we've got what types here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 types of fruit just along this first row that are now going to be harvested and put into the output. Whereas we've got seeds still in here. I wouldn't have it so that all of the seeds get taken over, because when you do it normally, all of the seeds that you pick up will go into here first as priority, and then into the secondary as the output later on. So I wanted to keep that going as best as possible in there like that. But I feel like this doesn't work unless it's constantly receiving power. Like that might be mature there. No, I'm sure if there's a mature level there and the seeds are down and all that's down, I don't know. I've still got to do some experimenting to figure out exactly how it works. But first up, I want to get the power sorted underneath it. So I made this little area underside here. All of the glowstone from the grass is also lighting down here, which is nice. And I have access to all of the farms up above, so I can use some piping. I've got to make the piping, and I've also got to make some power supply to start powering down here. And I've been wondering about what I could do for power, what could I do for some kind of interesting power. Interesting power, there's quite a few big power sources later on in the game, as it were, because we've got big reactor type stuff, because we're already getting the yellurium stuff coming through, and I've got a decent supply of yellurium. So there's yellurium kicking around somewhere, which is nice. That'll be good. And then we've got some other power supply from environmental tech, which is quite nice as well. And the environmental tech, like solar panels, are really, really good. Really, really, really good. So it'll be great to have those going soon enough as well. But I think to start with, and I've already made a start on this. I think to start with, we're going to start using Invar and making some magmatic dynamos. There we go. We're going to start making some magmatic dynamos. Then it takes Invar gear, which is just Invar around iron, easily enough. A redstone thing, which is a silver ingot with redstone. And that is it. And these things make a fair amount of redstone energy from lava. So I can feed it lava, like I've been feeding these lava, but instead of generating only 40 RF per tick, one of these dynamos, I believe these dynamos generated about 80 per tick. Maybe only 60, maybe a little bit different. I'll have to make some more later. But I'm basically making the Invar now to be able to make some of those and sort them out. Shall we have a quick look, see how much it's going to make after many, many updates. We want some of those, so we're going to need let's get a few, because I'm going to need a few. So let's get, I should have got an even number really, never mind. That is silver. I got silver there, and I got some redstone. Good, let's put some of that in. Don't want to make too many of these either, but we'll make all of those. And then that is there. That's a magmatic dynamo. Get some more redstone and we're away with that one. Awesome. Crafting on camera, not what I plan to do, but let's see what we can get out of it. And that will, let's generate there. So this currently will max output 40 RF per tick. This is only doing 40 RF per tick with a capacitor that works. They're normally 20 RF per tick. So 40 RF per tick in the same way as that does. Two Stirling generators are actually cheaper and easier than the magmatic dynamo. And Wally is telling me it's a steam dynamo right now as well. So yeah, that's bad. I probably could upgrade these. I don't know how to upgrade these in this version. There must be a way. I will see. I'll mess around with it and have a play about and see what we can do. But that's not much better for the amount of work it is, for the extra cost, than generators. I suppose they don't take up as much space. So we'll see about that. We'll see if that's going to work. And they might have some kind of capacitors that we can add to if we want, maybe. Let's put some lava in there. Yeah, 40 is the maximum. Can I increase this? Generation rate varies according to energy demand. Okay. So, it's generating. It's helping to generate it there. I'm getting 160 RF per tick there from those three. So that should be generating 80 overall. Wow. So that's generating 40, that's generating 20, and that's generating 40. So yeah, we are generating, I think, 100 I get. Why we got 160? That's 40. That's 20. That's 60. That is supposed to be 40, and yet we are receiving 160. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. My maths must be really, really bad, or that is broken. But regardless of that, I think I'm going to use the magmatic dynamos if I can make sure that it all works properly. I've also now got to make conduits. Conduit. Is it conduit? Conduit. I've got to make some conduit. Energy conduit, which is some conductive iron, which is easy enough to make. Redstone and iron in the alloy smelter, no problemo. We've also then got to make some conduct binder, which is gravel, clay, and sand, which I've got a fair amount of, and if I don't have enough sand, I can soon make some more clay. If I don't have enough clay, I can soon make some more clay. I know that much. So we're good with that as well. I'm going to need a lot of this, though. And I would like to make item conduits, which are pulsating iron. So I just need a few more ender pearls. So a fair bit of stuff to still achieve and make the most of. But I feel like I've run out of time for today's episode. I am very, very sorry, folks. I've been doing quite a lot of building and crafting and stuff off camera in order to prepare these lovely farms for us. And I've been saying about getting these all hooked up by the next episode, and they still haven't been hooked up properly. They still haven't been automated. So I need to make some of those pipes and energy supplies and stuff like that. I need to go and do some enderman farming. Get some ender pearls to make some item conduits. I've also got a few ideas for ender tanks. I think ender tanks are in here. Ender chests and ender tanks. Nice and simple way to move things around so that I can move different items from here into anywhere else I feel like without needing to have a big storage space over here, which could be quite cool as well. But that is definitely going to be in the next episode. I need to get some crafting done, but I will see you very soon for some more. Thank you all very, very much for being stranded with Nemsun once again. I've got a lot of stuff to do off camera now before we finish up in the next episode and have this raring to go. I'll try and buy some of the trees as well, because they're boring to sit and wait and grow. So we'll have the finished look down this side with the trees and all that. And, well, yeah, suggestions in the comments as to where to go next, but I think I'm going to start working on some quests in the next stage. After we've connected all this up and we've got all the food supply coming in, it might be a good idea to get a kitchen and all that kind of stuff working as well. But until then, guys, thank you all very, very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode of Forever Stranded.